disconnect the battery, use a 8mm wrench. Disconnect the negative side. And set that aside. Take this cover off. You're going to take these trim clips out. Just use a trim tool. Get underneath the center part. Slide those all out, just like that. And pull this cover off. Now, before I take these bolts out, for the latch, I just want to mark it. Just use a marker. Because you want to put this back exactly where it was when you go to put it back in. I use a 10mm socket. Take these bolts out. And take the latch and take this, the cable and the ball that's on the end of that, just slide that to the side and use some needle nose pliers. And just slide that off. Just take the cable out of here. You could use a pick tool or a screwdriver. And just slide the cable out. So the cable goes into the firewall and there's a retainer right here. Just slide it out of the retainer. And there's a grommet on the firewall. You can push on that grommet just to push it through. And we'll just push that in. There we go. We'll just leave that like that for now. All right, now pull this panel up. Just use some trim tools. Get underneath here. Slide it up. And should be able to slide this out. And just slide it out. And get behind this panel. Slide this out. And it has those two clips. Slide in there. Take this fuse box cover off. Just unscrew this cap right here. And then there's some clips on the side. And slide that out of the way. Actually, it's a junction box, not a fuse box. Take this nut out right here. It's 10mm. Take that nut off. And there's a nut right here. This holds the parking brake lever assembly on. We'll have to take that nut off, and then once we gain access, we should be able to take the other two nuts off up top. Use a 13mm socket. Pull that off. Grab this fuse junction box and just slide this out of the way. If you want to pull this completely out of the way, just grab the connectors, disconnect the connectors to it. Be careful with the wires, you don't want to pull on the wires. As I pull on the wires. And then the connector in the back. There's a 7mm bolt that holds on the back connector. Just gonna disconnect that. Move that out of the way. I'm gonna take this nut off. And there's one more nut that's closer to the front of the parking brake foot lever. I got the last nut. Pull that out. I did pull this four-wheel drive module out of the way. It is just clipped in. It goes right here. And there's a clip right here and a clip on the other side. You just slide it out of your way. For the sake of the video, I'm going to pull this parking brake foot pedal assembly out of the way. You don't normally have to pull it out, but just so you can see more, I want to disconnect the cable that goes to the release right here. You just push up on this, Get that little ball retainer out of the way, and then use some needle nose pliers on this. You can see the hood cable after the lever, the release cable goes back here, goes up to that rubber grommet that goes through the firewall. Use a 13mm socket, take the nut off right here. And we should be able to grab the cable and slide it through. And slide it out. All right, now we want to feed this cable back the way the other one came out. And go through the firewall. And as you feed it through here, you're going to have to go out and make sure it goes in the same location that the other one came out. So let's feed it through here. Go past the fuse box. It went through here, so go through that. Retainer there. And slide this through here. And you can put a little soapy water on the end of this grommet. That'll help push it in a little bit. Should be good. And slide that through. And try to push that into the firewall. So it's sealed nice and good. And then attach this bracket right here. Go over the stud. And slide that over the stud. Take the nut. Get the nut started. And we'll tighten it down. And snug it. Route this cable through here and reattach it right there and here. And we'll attach it to the latch. Just like this. And take the bolts, reattach the latch. So remember to line this up, how it came off. And tighten those down. Before we put everything back together, just double check, make sure everything works. Make sure the hood's lined up, looks good. Pull the release handle, and it works. So the cable is gonna run behind here. So keep that in mind. You don't want to squish the cable or any of the wires. So we'll just slide this back in position. And take the two nuts that go up top, put those on, and tighten them down. All right, so I tighten those two nuts up top. You can take this four-wheel drive module. If you pulled that out, reinstall that. Just line it up with the bracket. And lock it back in place. Take this cable that goes to the release for the parking brake. Slide that in position. Actually, we'll pop the bottom part of the cable on first, right there. And lock that in. That looks good. Make sure that seems to work. Reattach this wire to the parking brake. Right there. Now we can take the junction box and put the connector on the back. And just tighten the bolt down. And just snug that up. Not too tight, you just want it snug. That's good. And put the bracket in position. over the studs. Get this nut started over here. And the other nut over here, the smaller one. And tighten those down. All right, so both those nuts are tight. Now let's plug the connectors in. Find the right location for where they were. They should only go in one spot. One goes right there. And just lock them in place. Should be good. I'm going to put this cover on. Just slide that in position. Put this cap back on. And that's good. And slide this cover back in position. Now when it's all lined up, just push it in position. Just like that. And take this cover. Slide it in position. There you go, lock it in place. Put this cover on. Put the push pins back in position. Relock them down. And reconnect the battery. And snug up the terminal. Just wiggle it, make sure it's tight. It's good.